Weight loss hacks number 6, game-changing tips for fat loss. So you want to burn more calories doing cardio? And what about fasting? Which should you do? So you're in a rush to get rid of that last 10 pounds, and so you go back to what worked 10 years ago, cardio. But is it the fastest and best way? Well, today I'm gonna tell you. And what about intermittent fasting? You hear so much about how it works and you wanna drop fat fast, but where should you start? Now, before I jump in, make sure to hit the like on this video, subscribe to the channel, because it really helps me to get an idea of what you're really looking for and how I can coach you better. So how to burn more calories doing cardio. The first thing that we have to understand is that steady state cardio means that eventually you're gonna steady state with your results, because if you keep doing the same thing over and over, eventually your body adapts and you get no new results. So what I want you to do is set up your goal time. What does that mean? If you normally run for an hour, then what I want you to do is break it up into intervals. And you can do either a HIIT if you're looking to burn more calories, you can do an abs if you're looking for more definition into the core, and you can do weights if you're looking to pack on muscle. So you're gonna take those intervals, let's say an hour, and you're gonna break them down into 60 seconds. You're going to run for 60 seconds at the steady state that you normally would, then you're gonna get off, and for 30 seconds, you're gonna either do the HIIT to burn more calories, abs for abs, and then weights if you're looking for muscle. This stop and start method will never allow your heart rate to steady state, and in fact, it's going to challenge the body more, and when you challenge the body more, guess what happens? You burn more calories. But if you're looking for the ultimate calorie crushing workout, then I would advise, and work your way up to this, to incorporating some explosive training, some depth jumps, some explosive push-ups, some box jumps, anything that's pushing your body to explode off the ground or challenge your body to do more than just lifting what you can. As soon as you incorporate that explosive training, it challenges the body to that next level. So the heart rate on your watch might not read as high while you're lifting weights if you're looking to put on muscle, but we all know that lifting weights is hard, and as you add more muscle, guess what? It takes more calories to move that muscle, and when you burn more muscle, then your metabolic rate goes up, and then your calorie crushing goes up. And as long as you're staying in that caloric deficit, guess what? You're going to drop the fat and you're going to drop the pounds. So my recommendation to you is steady state will work for a period of time if you're untrained or if you haven't done it in a long time, but eventually you're going to steady state out of that, stop seeing any results, and that's when this should kick in, which is when you start to do HIIT training, where you're going for 60 seconds of a run, you step off, you do HIIT, like a high knees, jumping jack, or a burpee, and abs to get more ab definition, or some type of weight training if you're looking to build muscle. Second is fasting. First, fasting does not work if you're in a caloric surplus. So what does that mean? It's if you eat more than you burn, your body will not burn fat because it's still burning the food that you ate. It's like if you keep spending money more than you make, you will never have any savings because you're always paying off your debt. So where do we start? First, I want you to weigh yourself every single day. Now, we gotta understand that this is gonna change hour to hour and day to day, so you need to base it from a week standpoint to a week standpoint. My recommendation is that you do it every Friday at the same time with the same level of hydration, and this way we can compare actual data from 7 days to 7 days. Now, when you're looking at your plate, let's make it simple. That 50% of your plate should have greens. 30% of it, if it's laid flat, should be some form of protein, whether that be beef, chicken, steak, tofu, whatever it is that your protein choice is, lay it flat and 30% of that plate should be that. And then 20% of that should be some type of carb that you like. Now, if you're new to dieting, then my recommendation is that you make the carb something that you absolutely love. If you wanna have 20% of your plate chips, then have 20% of your plate chips. If you wanna have rice, 20% of your plate could be rice. But as soon as we get into smarter choices, Nary made a video that talked about what are some good carb choices. So I'll put the link in right here. We'll link it up right here. So Jerome, can you add that in? And pick one of the carbs, and that's gonna be your perfect plate. Now, when you're eating, you should never feel two things. You should never feel stuffed. So if that plate is making you feel absolutely stuffed, it's probably too much. And if you're feeling starved after you eat, you probably didn't eat enough. So then you can increase the volume of food. But again, we're gonna be weighing day to day, and then we're gonna be comparing it week to week. So you have to be able to eyeball, if you're not tracking your food, of what type of adjustments that you should be making. So you can either work harder in hopes that you're burning more calories than you're eating, or the simpler way is just to adjust that plate, make the portions a little bit smaller, and then compare it week to week. And literally you just have to be patient with it and make that adjustment on a 7-day wingspan. So once we find that amount, honestly, my recommendation is to eat the same thing every day for a week. And that's gonna give you an idea of what food volume you should be eating, because once we know like which adjustments, like if you switch from steak to chicken one day, the calories are different. And so if you go, okay, well, I had 30% a plate of steak, and then tomorrow I'm gonna do 30% of chicken breast, like the calories based on volume are different. And so eat the same thing for 1 week. Yes, it kind of sucks, but at least moving forward, you're gonna have an idea of where that food volume should be. That's gonna help you to lose the weight and lose the fat that you're looking for. So if you gain, then reduce the portions. If you lost, boom, we found the perfect amount. Now do this again for another week. Get a little bit more creative with your plate, change up your greens, change up your protein, but keep the food volume the same. It's not fasting, but it's a way for your body to get into a caloric deficit. When you're in a deficit, your body burns fat. So if we're losing weight, we don't necessarily need to do intermittent fasting, because we're still burning more calories than we're intaking. And when you're burning more and you're losing weight and you're losing fat, you don't necessarily need to do intermittent fasting, because you're already burning fat as fuel. And if at the end game you're looking to just lose weight and you're looking to drop fat, then really that's all that you should focus on, and never mind trying to eat within a short window, because you can eat McDonald's, you can have a McFlurry, and you can have an ice cream cake, and you can have a burger, and you can eat that all within an hour, and that would put you over the calories that you burnt from the previous day, and you're gonna gain regardless of how long you didn't eat for. So when it comes to doing your own workouts, a lot of people, they're probably not pushing themselves hard enough. This might not be you, but I guarantee if you came and tried a session over at Fit Club, the coaches, once they get to know you, are gonna push you to your max abilities. And really, if you have a time crunch and you have 30 minutes, 5 days a week, then that's where you wanna be, with the right people in your corner, pushing you, making sure that you're burning as much calories in that short period of time. So here's what I'm gonna recommend when it comes to that. Number one is that to join Fit Club. Start with the 5 days for $5. See if this is the push that you're gonna need. Number two, if you're a member and you go often, then just go to the coach. When you're feeling it, just go to the coach and say, "Coach, push me." The second thing when it comes to intermittent fasting and your nutrition, if what I told you, I want you to try it first. And if you're not seeing the results that you would like to see, because that method is as simple as it gets, but it actually gets a little bit more complex than that, then my recommendation is that you send us an email, north@fitclub.fit, mention the belly burn, and the coach will put together a fasting schedule that works within your hunger and also is gonna get you to shred the fat and lose the weight. Life's short, live shredded. We'll see you on the blue. Coach RJ.